Metaphysical Energy Healing, Chapter 1, Section 6. Taproots. Quote, "You possess the ability to tap a bottomless well of physical and psychic energy. With it, you can harness the magical power of the universe. Yet most of us unknowingly block the flow of this power and live out our lives not reaching the potential that we could achieve if we only knew how." Unquote. L.V. Carney, Qigong. To prepare us for the experience, Rosalind describes something called, quote, the human energy field, or the, quote, human aura, as being something that could be extended into the earth. Through conscious intent or willpower, what some people wrongfully call imagination, the earth energies can be pulled into the lower extremities. This causes a warming or tingling sensation in the feet or ankles. She strongly urged us to identify this feeling and become familiar with it. She was clear that it was a substance, qi, that behaved much like water, that was producing this sense. This physical sensation appears to be the result of an increase in qi's subtle energy flow in our bodies. Ordinarily, below our conscious mind, this flow is continuous, yet we are not aware of it. Rosalind spoke of increasing that flow and identifying the sensations that it produced as a guide for further understanding the strength of the flow. To begin running earth energy, you start with visualization. You imagine that your feet are on soft sand, mud, or quicksand. You begin to actually feel them extending into the earth as if there were no barrier at all. Rosalind described the field of energy connected to our feet as actually being like two enormous taproots extending into the earth. Rosalind explained that we would be focusing on a, quote, minor chakra to improve the flow of earth energy into our energy pathways. Since you are not familiar with the reality of your chakras, some explanation is necessary. In the Hindu system of visualization of the energetic organs of the body, there are 7 major chakras, described as spinning wheels or vortexes of light energy. They are the organs of the human energy field, conveying and processing physical, emotional, and spiritual information as subtle energy. Their function is very complex. These energetic centers are intimately connected in a sort of a hierarchy, passing from the physical to the spiritual. As we progress in our journey of understanding, I will outline the crucial details. For now, just accept this temporary and simplified description. As we sat in our seats, Rosalind described a minor chakra that she used as an intake chakra situated just posterior to the balls of the feet. She described it as something akin to a hole in one of the layers of the energy field. She described its location as being just behind the balls of the feet. It is here there is located an acupuncture point named the bubbling spring or kidney number 1 point. The Chinese knew what they were talking about when they named it the bubbling spring point. Through it, earth energy constantly enters like water. The qi then naturally extends up pathways in the legs and then is distributed throughout the body. We were instructed to place our feet firmly on the ground with our hands on our knees. Don't worry, I will be repeating these instructions so that you can learn to run energy when the time is right. We were asked to place our tongues in contact with the roof of our mouth. I must strongly emphasize that the instruction that followed was presented as a visualization. However, it is far beyond that. Look at it as an actual event, because it is. Acting as though our feet were on mud or quicksand, we were then to extend our human energy field progressively into the earth. As we did so, we were instructed to try to catch the feel of this energy as it coursed through our legs. It turns out it is very important to detect qi flow in whatever way your particular mind and body feel it. Once a bodily sensation is appreciated, it is very easy to gather, direct, and move these energies. My conviction is that once earth qi enters the body, it, like all other forms of qi we use, is automatically converted into what I call human life force energy qi. This particular form of qi is either conscious or can be manipulated with conscious intent. Rosalind briefly explained that the qi energy that she was identifying as earth energy was of low frequency and wide wavelength. As such, the slow wave of the earth energy was ideal for further processing by the chakra system. As the earth energy moved through the chakra system, additional frequencies were added, which added information. This description helped me a great deal. I was able to understand that the human chakra system was an information processing system, and that system used subtle qi energy for this purpose. This is a concept I would like you to become familiar with. You will come to realize that all matter is energy, and that all energy is information. Once we detected our particular sense of earth chi, Rosalind gave a brief description of its properties. It being a long time ago, I don't recall exactly what she says, so I will relate my own understanding. Earth chi and human life force chi as well have properties like water. Water loves space and flows into it. Water immediately enters any vacuum it encounters. Treating earth chi or human life force chi as if it were like water allows one to direct its movement. She asked us to think of our legs as hollow bamboo tubes capable of pulling in the earth chi. She told us to make space in front of this sensation, in front of this substance known as earth chi. With the initial instruction that Rosalind provided, I was easily able to sense an increased flow of chi into my legs as it moved up my calves. Immediately after that, I felt an intense sensation in both of my knees. Later, I understood why. The knees are loaded with nerve endings. Naturally, we feel increased chi flow there very strongly. As you experiment with human life force chi, you will understand why I regard the energy as having consciousness. Wherever we focus our intention, it goes there, as if it can read our minds. Shortly after feeling the sensation in my knees, my hands began to strongly buzz with a terrific warmth. The hands have even more nerve endings than the knees. This is why it can be important to have your hands on your knees during the initial attempt to sense increased chi flow through this particular pathway. Once I had this sensory representation of human life force chi flow, I was able to markedly increase the flow. Rosalind had instructed us to, quote, pull the sensation into an area of our abdomen just below our navels. When I did this, the chi energy seemed to pull there as a pulsating warmth that seemed synchronized or somehow responsive to my breathing. There was a method to her directions. After studying subtle energy body anatomy, I found this area is the location of what is known as the lower dantian in the Taoist tradition, Dantien. The lower dantian can be visualized or understood as an energetic pump. It operates like a bellows, opening and closing. When it opens, it pulls chi in. When it contracts, it expels chi. The operation of this pump is automatic, but can also be controlled through conscious intent. It is also the location in the Hindu tradition of the third chakra, which I regard as the subtle energetic equivalent of the ordinary mind. Rosalind then directed us to pull the energy into our hearts from our lower abdomens and then down our arms into our palms. She mentioned that if we were having difficulty moving the energy into our heart region, we were to think of something that caused us great joy or happiness. She explained that this would open the fourth or heart chakra. She mentioned that one of the best ways of understanding this was to visualize something that provided us with unconditional love, such as a pet or loved one. I learned something interesting about the chakra system that day, which I will relate to you when we formally perform this exercise. At the level of the heart, there is a second pump, the second dantian. Just like the physical heart, it operates automatically, but we can manipulate its action with the use of careful manipulation of our emotions. Give this a little thought. Love moves chi. Negative emotions impede the flow of chi. She then explained that there was a major pathway extending from the heart down into the arms, into the palms, to another minor chakra, which corresponds to the Lao Gong, Laogong, or pericardium 8 acupuncture point. This is also referred to as the Palace of Labor, where we would be emitting the energy. This minor chakra is almost exactly in the center of the palms, and chi flow through it can be felt quite easily. We were to focus on the center of our palms and allow the energy to flow down our arms into this point. I found it quite easy to complete the final stages of this particular form of energy manipulation. Immediately, I felt that now familiar, fuzzy, tingly sensation gathering in my palms and between my hands. I could feel it gathering there. It was a palpable presence, the presence of something within my field that I had never detected before. Well, it made perfect sense that we could detect something with our nerve endings in our actual physical body. What was I using to detect this? I did not know. We were instructed to place our palms facing each other approximately 4 to 6 inches apart. We were to consciously move the energy down one arm into the palm and emit it towards the other palm as powerfully as possible while trying to detect the energy that was being emitted from the palm we were directing the energy to with the other palm. It was like a game of energetic ping pong or tennis, where the energy was the ball. I emitted the energy down one arm into the other, back and forth, back and forth. I found it quite easy to detect this energy moving through the space between my hands back and forth as I worked with it. In a matter of a few minutes, Rosalind had taught us how to, quote, run and emit subtle energy. What a blessing. But there was more to come. That particular day in my life would end with a bang. It was an amazing feeling. With just a simple visualization that did not require much concentration, gorgeous earth energies, as Rosalind likes to call them, coursed through my body like a river of light. I sat completely astonished as I realized these energies obeyed my command, bouncing back and forth between my palms. I tried to see the energy, but I could not. I continued to sink my feet deeper into the ground, noticing that as I did so, the flow increased as if I had tapped into a welcoming reservoir of warm energy which had all the characteristics of flowing water. I felt as though I was feeding upon this energy. I was absorbing it, transmuting it, circulating it, and emitting it out my palms. What a wonderful event that was. Once the pathway had been filled with this flow, it seemed to operate independently of any direction. However, you could manipulate it with your conscious intent, increasing the flow, decreasing the flow, alternating the flow, whatever you chose. Today, as I sit communicating this material, I am forever grateful to my teacher, but even more so to whatever being or force that designed such a marvelous ability for us. The gift I was given that day, I am going to give you. It is precious beyond belief and will give you great comfort and provide your body with unparalleled healing power.